I woke up that day and I checked Twitter and I saw that Stefanos Tsitsipas was like 0-11 in ATP 500 finals. And so I was like, all right, like I'm 0-2 and I'm feeling like a little antsy about this match. Like, I want to get over the line. It's like, okay, I have to lose 10 more of these to even be close to Tsitsipas.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like, you know, at the end of the day, if I win or lose this challenger final again, it's still a great week and still a step in the right direction. But there's many people out there that have lost a lot more than 2 in a row. So I try to take some pressure off myself with that. But of course, you know, it's never easy to get over the hump, and those thoughts are going to creep in no matter what. So you just got to embrace them.
Bro, I found myself recently, like when stuff like that happens, like in the past, I feel like people just try to like not pay attention to them, but you kind of have to like face the thought and then like focus on something else. You know, like if you don't face the thought and you don't like, it doesn't actually cross your mind, then you just avoid it before, and then it's actually in your face in the moment and you don't know what to do, like how to deal with it. You know, like it sounds like that's what you said. Like you kind of saw the humor in the 0-2 versus the 0 whatever it was Tsitsipas was, and then you're like, okay, that's funny. I have like so much to go, but then that's the negative thought. You just put it to the side and then keep doing your own shit, you know? So that's good.
I mean, I think that's something my sports psych and I talk all the time about. It's like sometimes I'll have these thoughts and I'll go to her and I'll be like, you know, why am I so screwed up? Like, how am I having that thought? And you think it's just you, but in reality, a lot of people are having those thoughts. And I think when I don't try to face those thoughts head on, I'm more so just like attacking myself and like, why am I thinking this? And then it kind of just snowballs and snowballs instead of just like, okay, like this is me. I'm not going to change that much. I can, of course, change my perspective and change how I react to those thoughts. But the thoughts themselves, you know, I think it's going to take a very, very long time to sort of rewire what comes up in certain moments. And so, yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the embracing route has proved to be a little bit more successful than the sort of deflect whatever you feel is coming, you know?
Exactly.
Bro, I don't know you, but I've seen you play a couple of times now, and you look crazy locked in. Like, what is going through Eliot Spizzirri's mind point to point? Like, how, like, you're playing the final with Maki, and point to point, like, what are you trying to focus on? And where does your mind go?
I mean, my mind goes a million places. I think every match and every tournament and every, you know, set, it just brings different challenges and sort of different thoughts, like we're saying. And it's just about, for me, it's about embracing all that. But to be honest, the thing that I, in the biggest moments, try to focus on is just like the next ball. And it sounds so simplistic, but it's, for me, when I'm playing my best tennis, I'm a proactive player. And it's like, okay, I'm hitting this shot to get this shot and kind of try to find ways to maneuver the point in my favor. And when I'm thinking, you know, passively or just reacting to how they're playing, it's like, oh, like I'm trying to make this shot. Oh, like, you know, I'm worried about this. If I hit a second serve here, he's going to do this. And it's like, that's not really gonna work, I think, at the highest level. So I just try to think about the next ball and plan, you know, my next point if I can, or just at least plan the mindset I want to have. And yeah, so I think like the easy answer, I mean, there's a million ways I could go, and there's a million different cues that I think I have to help me in certain moments. But I would say the simplest one is like, dude, I just think next shot. And of course, like, I mean, we could get into the nitty gritty of like how I try to fire myself up, because there's a ton of different ways. But at the same time, it's just like, dude, let's get to the next point and let's just try to play the next ball to the right area and make good decisions.
Let's get to nitty gritty, because I have to say, you to me have one of the coldest sellies in tennis. Like the muscle man that you just stand up and you go with the two hands down and you like do the come on. I think it's hard. Like,
Thanks,
yeah, I don't think anyone talks about it. But how do you pump yourself up when things are going a little bit rough for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I don't, you know, I can't pinpoint it, but I definitely have a chip on my shoulder and kind of this fire deep down inside that, you know, I just want to be great. And I think that sort of fires me up. And whether that's pre-match and I'm listening to certain tunes that kind of ring a bell for me. And it's like, you just think about some of the people that doubted you, or some of the people that kind of put these restrictions on you when you were young. I don't.
This man is Kobe Bryant or what?
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I don't want to make it.
The guy.
I don't want to make it like
he's got a wall in his room with faces on it, like cutouts of.
I don't want to make it like a big deal in the sense that there's not like a million people that have doubted me, and it's not like there's so much buzz, but it's just like I try to find like I'll honestly make stuff up before the match about like the guy that I'm playing, and it's like, dude, if you do anything that pisses me off or anything that like maybe I don't respect, I'm gonna be thinking about that pretty hard, and in the biggest moments. I do at times
in the last dance. You remember?
Yeah, I mean, it's not out of lack of respect for the other players. It's more so I just know that gets me in the right mode, and it doesn't always have to be something about the guy across the net. That is sometimes when it's like I need the absolute most and I have nothing left. It's like, okay, if a certain way that you fist pump, or a certain come on, or a certain celebration that you did 6 months ago, if like that pissed me off, I'm gonna try to use it. But that's when I really, really need something. Of course, like at most moments it's like, okay, I have the internal drive to want to succeed, and I think deep down I just love competition, and so I think that that trumps most things when I'm going into a match. But when I have to get into, a certain mode, I will. Yeah. There's been some crazy instances in college where like college tennis is a bit different, where like, people are pretty rowdy and you can kind of do a lot more or get away with a lot more things. And a couple of times late in the season last year, I went to the bathroom in between set breaks, and I started screaming like some pretty crazy stuff at myself, just because like I love this team so much and I loved playing for those guys and I wanted to win so bad for them. And it was like, I'm currently losing for this team, and like, I can't, it's hard for me to wrap my head around at the time. And so I went to the bathroom, I started screaming at myself, and like so loud as I could, but like the doors were shut. And then I get out of the facility, and like my coach comes and taps me on the shoulder right before I'm going out for the second set or third set, I can't remember. And he's like, you realize that like the fans on the other side of the facility just heard everything you just said. And I was like, no, like, please tell me they did it. And so like for the rest of the duel match, I'm just thinking to myself, like, this whole stadium thinks I'm a psychopath, and like I might be, but like, whatever. And I'm lucky enough I got it done. But yeah, sometimes it takes just, a crazy amount of internal drive and motivation. And sometimes you got to yell at yourself and get yourself out of your own way, because there's obviously, as you guys know, we're all players. There's demons that come up, and you gotta fight them somehow.
So that's your way of dealing with that, bro. If I do that, it's getting all downhill, bro. 100%.
No, I don't do that anymore. Like I'm a different competitor now than I was in college. I realized that like the sort of playing, like on a scale of 0 to 10, playing at a 9 intensity or an 8 or 9 intensity is sort of like a Rafa type, I would say, is not my flow state, or not my best zone to be in. And it's not sustainable for me. There's too many ups and downs. And so that's one of the things I'm working on right now, is just like, what can I sustain the highest level? What sort of intensity can help me sustain the highest level? And it's sort of more of like a 5. And so when I'm playing professionally now, I don't really try to get too high and too low, even though of course there's the same thoughts are going through the head, but I know I can't sustain sort of that 9 intensity. And the reason I think I could do it in college is because I got 6 other guys, and I got Cleve Harper, a court down, yelling his brains out. And so it's like, okay, like that's pretty easy to match, but when you're out there by yourself, I don't think it's sustainable. And so I'm trying to be a little bit more even keeled.
Yeah, Jody either. There's a story. We were in Mexico at a 15K, and we were talking to our coach, and we were playing with the idea of, like you said, intensities and like what mood you're best in. So he decided to play a singles match, and and the move was to be a little bit angry, get chippy, be upset. So before the match, Jody doesn't actually see our coach, which he took a little bit personally because it's like, you tell me to do all this shit, and then before the match, I don't even see you. So he took it personally. He goes to the court, he's already fuming. He's already at an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. I think he loses the first or the second point, and he cracked this.
Right? No. It was first game. I got broken and I did break a racket.
Cracked the racket in the first game of the match.
Oh shit!
But then I thought to myself, what a fucking idiot, bro. I'm breaking my racket at 1-0. I'm so pissed off.
And then he was embarrassed.
But then I broke. Yeah, I was embarrassed. That's like when you went to the bathroom, you scream at yourself, and you come back out. That's the feeling I had at 1-0. When I broke the racket, I'm looking at myself, bro. I have 3 rackets in my bag. One's broken, and now I have 1 more fresh string. What am I doing? I don't have a contract.
That's out of control, bro. That's out of control.
Oh my god, bro! I haven't broken a racket since, actually.
But that's honestly like taking it to the level you want it. You wanted to test it out, and you fully tested out the theory. Like you're
I figured it out.
If I lose a game today, I'm breaking a racket. So.
Yeah. Thanks for watching this clip. If you want to watch the full episode, the link is in the description down below.